So this is what you should not do. Do not panic. So I like how he's actually wearing like a 3 mil wetsuit, so he's going to be a lot warmer, but they probably wanted her to look all sexy. So there's a lot of bubbles. Ooh, and they're going up as fast as possible. So this is a big no-no, because of course, as soon as you get up. Hi guys, my name is Kat, and this is vegandiverkatt, and today I'm doing a video where I react to some popular movies and their diving scenes to see how realistic they are, or how well they made them. This was partially inspired by Maria from C&Me, who did a marine biologist reacts to underwater scenes or ocean scenes, and I found that to be hilarious, so you should go check out that video. But yeah, let's check out some diving movies and how realistic they are. Etc. So the first one is Sanctum from 2011. I haven't actually seen this movie, so let's check it out together. So they're going through some very narrow caves, which, ooh. Cave diving is pretty difficult. You need to do a lot of training for it, since there's a lot of things that can go wrong, and because quite often you'll have to like remove scuba gear, especially if you're doing cave diving to this level, and this is usually considered technical diving, not just recreational diving. For recreational diving, you'll be doing diving in more like cavernous open caves, while this is very technical, and it is one of the most high likelihoods of dying during scuba diving. It's cave diving. Okay, she's having trouble breathing. It looks like she's stuck. So one of the reasons you need to have all your scuba gear really close to your body is just to minimize the dangling parts, which could get tangled or trapped on something else. So you can see she's getting quite panicked, which is the #1 rule. If you do get trapped on something, you gotta stop, think, and just breathe to avoid using more air and stressing yourself out. Even though, oh, I can't imagine how scary this is. So they're all looking back for her. So this is what you should not do. Do not panic. So you're signaling, go check her out. Oh, she's gotten through. Yay! So as you can see, they're wearing rebreathers rather than scuba tanks, that the carbon dioxide that they exhale, it goes into the system and turns it back into oxygen, so you don't lose your air, essentially. But scuba gear, you can either have scuba tanks where you inhale what's in your scuba tank and then exhale and it just comes out, or you can have these rebreathers which cycle the air through, and that's more for technical diving. I've never dived with a rebreather because I'm quite poor, and these things cost a lot of money, I think about $4,000. It says Victoria, new scuba diver, has trouble making it through the narrowest part of an underwater cave. Like, obviously a new scuba diver would have a lot of issues with this, so that is why you should never go into a cave if you're a new diver, if you haven't been trained for it, because it is very stressful. You need to stay calm, and things like this do happen. Alright, pause before we continue with the rest of the video. I would just like to give a shout out to the sponsor of this video. Thank you so much, Modibody, for sponsoring this. These guys are a feminine hygiene product brand which provide the ultimate alternatives to single-use plastic products. It changed my entire life. I'm so much more comfortable. Use them every single month. Underwear, or even swimwear. So, you know, if you ever want to dive and attract those sharks. Joking. But yeah, make sure to check them out. Modibody, not only are they sustainable, ethical, but they also give back to women in need. So it's a great way to help other women, the planet, and yourself. So get the code vegandiverkatt, Modibody, link in description. Back to diving. Jaws 2. So apparently there's an underwater scene. I've never seen any of the Jaws movies, so let's see. Underwater scare. So this person's diving. I love these old wetsuits and tanks. It's just so much more bright and colorful. Oh yeah, and the shark comes out. All right, I gotta stop this. No, you do not do this. If you do run into a shark underwater, first of all, sharks aren't there to go get you. If you're afraid of sharks, check out this video I made all about shark fear. But secondly, Acting like prey is probably the worst thing you can do. So if you start panicking, if your heart starts going and you start running away from the shark, that is just going to confirm or going to make it think that you are scared of it, therefore it has more power, therefore you could potentially be prey. If you stay calm and if you stay near the bottom, they will typically swim away from you, ignore you. So you just gotta do the exact opposite of what this person did, which is just stay calm, go down, and just breathe nice and calmly. This person panicked and shot to the surface. Now, not only is this not the correct way to behave around aquatic animals, but also going up to the surface at this speed can cause decompression illness. This is, of course, when nitrogen is in your body and you go up too fast, and the nitrogen can expand, cause bubbles, which causes blockages in your body. Extremely dangerous, and people can die. These are the bends. So in the best case scenario, you come up to the surface and you have things like rashes, and then you can be put into a decompression chamber. However, decompression chambers are quite rare. There's not that many of them in the world. So for example, when I lived and worked in Comoros, the closest decompression chamber was on a different island. So we'd have to fly there on a low altitude plane or go there really fast by boat. While in many places in the world, they're also extremely expensive. So this is why you should have dive insurance, by the way. And the other thing is, this person spit out their regulator, which is quite often a sign of panic, and is swimming to the surface. But if they're holding their breath, the air in their lungs could actually expand and severely damage their lungs. But this is a very typical panic diver situation. I have dealt with many times before. However, for me, when my students panic, the first thing I do is grab them and stop them swimming up at that speed. So keep them level or even drag them down just to minimize their ascent rate, because that is the biggest rule. After, always keep breathing, keep that air circulating. Second thing is always go up at a nice and steady rate. That's way too quick. You can see the shark in the background there. De-gearing. But yeah, in that situation, the first thing you do is give the person oxygen. So every dive boat should have oxygen on board. But yeah, I don't know if I want to see Jaws. Would you guys recommend I watch Jaws? Female Baywatch scuba diver scenes. So let's see what's happening. Baywatch. Again, TV show, movie I've never watched. I love these wetsuits. Look how fantastic it looks. That's Lycra though. That's not going to keep you very warm, but it does look good. He's wearing a thicker wetsuit. So she's wearing 0.5 millimeters, like nothing. Oh, these sonar things are amazing. We have some on our boat and you can actually see fish and bommies and everything. So I like how he's actually wearing like a 3 mil wetsuit. So he's going to be a lot warmer, but they probably wanted her to look all sexy. All right, so they hop into the water. You don't swim with your arms while scuba diving because you want to minimize your movement, therefore your water consumption. Okay, if there's kelp, growing, that means the water is like 18 degrees max. You would freeze in a Lycra suit. Personally, in 18 degrees of water, I'm in a dry suit, but I'm a big wuss. But typically at least a 5 millimeter or a 7 millimeter. So this is very unrealistic. You'll see nowadays when you scuba dive, the whole thing is to go as slow as possible. Ooh, yay, look, a shark. Beautiful shark. I don't know what species that is. Oh, it's gorgeous though. Oh, she's scared. But it's beautiful. Like seeing sharks underwater while you're scuba diving is amazing. So this is not what you would do. You wouldn't go and hide because there's just a shark cruising around, because they're amazing creatures who are not out to get you. And there's a hammerhead. Whoa. You see, if I was on this dive, I would be like, this is the best thing ever. That is much more dangerous than sharks. What are these? Oceanic sharks? Yeah, getting into a confined space underwater, definitely significantly more dangerous than sharks. I mean, last year there were something like 61 shark bite incidents in the world, and 3% were scuba divers. Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah, oceanic, because you can see the massive dorsal fin. While going into confined spaces, cave diving, penetration diving, and now there's a great white shark. So they have an oceanic white tip, hammerhead, and a great white shark, and a hammerhead. I love how it's just different footage of sharks, and then they're pretending they're in the same place. Oh, I love this editing. 10 out of 10. Oh, and now there's a whole heap of reef sharks, I think. Love it, love it. Oh yeah, and it's definitely coming for them. This would never happen. But this is why people are afraid of sharks, right? And this is what makes people afraid of scuba diving with sharks, because they think the sharks come and get you. What's this bubble thing happening? Where's the bubbling coming from? Where's this current coming from? What's going on? What is happening? How do you, if you're, so suddenly a current's ripping through and you can't hold on. First of all, you'll be able to hold on. Secondly, there's no currents which come like this. Oh, and she dropped the reg out of her mouth. That's why you should quickly do the regulator retrieval and put it back into your mouth. Currents do actually come out of nowhere sometimes. Oh, and she's lost her mask as well. That's not good. Oh, because there's some sort of turbine. Yeah, this is what I was saying. Don't go into these confined spaces, because apparently it might be a turbine which still has some water at the top. I mean, air at the top. Okay. Well, I think that's all we're gonna do today, just because there's so many more scuba diving clips. So let me know if you've enjoyed this, and I can make another video. That was hilarious. I actually really enjoyed reacting to them. If you like this video, make sure to let me know if you want me to react any more scuba diving clips and kind of give you a bit more background about what would actually happen. Thank you guys so much for watching. Join the family. Yeah, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.